The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
Alongside Carson-Newman women's golf coach Suzanne Strudwick, I'm Danielle Whaley, and this is the Eagles Sports Network. Carson-Newman kicks off its season with a trip to Hilton Head for the battle at Hilton Head and Coach. It's hard to believe that it's been almost a year now since we were able to do a preview for a tournament, but you're finally getting the season started. It's worth celebrating. How are you and the team finally getting into that mindset for tournament play?
Yeah, I think the girls are really excited. I mean, we're trying to get 54 holes in qualifying. It's been a little bit difficult. We started a week and a half ago on that just because we knew this week the extended forecast showed that this week was going to be a little iffy. So we have the makings of a really good five-man team. Very pleased with how it's gone. I mean, obviously the girls are a little bit rusty in qualifying, but I think just that little edge of instead of just practicing to play, they've actually been practicing to qualify, and it just steps everything up. So.
Whenever we talked about our preview for this season, obviously we were looking at the extended off season at that point with the qualifying, and you mentioned how it seems like the team has kind of kicked into gear with this qualifying. How has that competition within the team really been prevalent? You had the time against the boys in the fall, like you had talked about previously, but now that it's right in between the team, how has that really turned on the year to get ready for the season?
Yeah, I think what's been really difficult, and I think what most student athletes around the country and you'll see this being talked about even with the Olympics, with Olympic athletes, is how to prepare when things get extended out and keep getting pushed out. And, you know, I've had a couple of players that, you know, feel like were playing really, really well back in the fall, and now they're not playing so well. And so they've missed out on that opportunity to compete when their games were, you know, in tip-top shape. Coming off the summer, and now they're not playing so well. And so now they're missing out on they're not performing in the qualifiers. So they're a little bit, upset, and quite rightly so. But unfortunately, that's what we're faced with. So, it's that's been the most difficult, both mentally and physically, trying to get the team peaking for this spring competitive season.
And it's interesting this year, a lot of teams are having to go through it. You're so used to having that fall schedule that you've played through like you talked about, but this is the start of the entire season, so it's a bit shorter of a season than what the team's used to. But you look at the past two seasons, when you've started the spring, you've started with runner-up finishes last year at Hilton Head, finishing in second. Taking the team back this year, what's kind of the difference in the mindset, taking away the fall that you didn't get to play through, but knowing that you do have experience now at this event?
Yeah. For me, I'm looking forward to it, and the way the qualifying's gone, the only person that's going to be new that hasn't been there is Hannah Holland, who was our transfer from UTC, but and she's qualifying at the moment in fourth place. So, I'm excited to see what she can do. Her game suits this course really well. She's a very long hitter, so she'll be hitting in a lot of shorter irons. The par threes are extremely difficult on this course, and so she's got the advantage of where most of the girls are probably hitting in hybrids. She's going to be hitting in a medium iron. So, I think having her and that potential, even though this will be her first time around this course, I think for the team and the depth of our team, I'm really excited. We've got Maeve going back again. Obviously, she's qualified. We've got Ellie Horton from England that played as an individual, did very well. So she's going back, and she's qualifying in the number one spot so far. We've got Jayla Sims, Olivia Williams, that have gone back to this a couple of times. Olivia has really stepped up her game, and she's actually qualifying in the number 2 spot at the moment. And before she was an individual as well and has played that spot, but she's really worked hard over the last year on her game, and I'm really excited to see what she can do in her senior year.
And to be starting the season off at Hilton Head, where you're going to be facing a field that's very competitive and very talented, it's a good way to start the season, but you're going to be starting off really going right off the gates with back-to-back event weeks. How important is it for the team to have a good, solid mindset heading into this solid start where you're going to be facing a lot of tough competition early on?
Yeah, and it's kind of what we're used to back in the fall when we start typically in Indianapolis, and that event is probably one of our toughest competitive weeks. So I feel as though we're starting this spring the same, and in fact, all our events this spring are very difficult events. They're all got highly competitive teams playing, so we're setting ourselves up certainly for one of our most competitive seasons ever. But I feel as though if we play well, we can make it to regionals as a team, because of the strength of fields that we're playing against. And I'm excited for that. I'm excited for that opportunity.
It's been a long time coming, but it's finally the start of the season, and it's a quick one at that. So, Coach, thank you so much for the time, and best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.
She is Coach Suzanne Strudwick. I'm Danielle Whaley, and this is the Eagle Sports Network.